security experts such as our own KT McFarland have said bad actors will push against the Obama administration in the last year. North Korea testing the community, obviously, Iran as well. The U.S. State Department said yesterday it may impose sanctions against Iran for an October ballistic missile test that violated UN Security Council resolutions. None as of yet. But at one point, President Obama was optimistic about Iran and the possibility of it showing respect for the nuclear agreement reached 6 months ago. Here he is saying the Iran deal was a way to avoid Middle Eastern conflicts.
Do you really think that this verifiable deal, if fully implemented, backed by the world's major powers, is a worse option than the risk of another war in the Middle East?
Middle Eastern expert Dr. Zuhdi Jasser is with me now. Zuhdi, thanks for being here. Iran unveiling a new underground facility yesterday. Is its breach of these international regulations on nuclear power just a big I told you so against the Obama administration?
Oh, not only that, it's basically showing that the sanctions regime, at least we had containment, Deirdre. Now we've lost complete containment. And by the way, the information about this missile program wasn't found covertly. They put it on Tasneem News, and the Speaker of their parliament was showing it as being proud in a 1-minute video how he had established this, a second video from the one in October. So the bottom line is they don't really, America is like out of the equation. They are violating the 2010 UN National Security Council resolution. Our president is basically saying that we're going to invoke new sanctions against business leaders and investors. It has nothing to do with the Iranian government sanctions. So that doesn't make any sense. We're basically more appeasement. The Saudi executions were done. They threw in a Shia cleric because they knew that would divert attention from their domestic problems. So you basically see a Middle East imploding in the absence of any American influence any longer.
So in essence, what you're saying is the nuclear framework is somehow making tension in the Middle East even worse.
It is, because they see themselves getting $100 billion, if not more, soon. Remember, we haven't had any Shia acts of terror against the West. Why? Because sanctions prevented the flow of money to Islamic institutions in the West, so we only had Sunni. So now you're going to see a world where Sunni and Shia terror will start to grow. The Iranian sanctions regime, the president presented it as basically one of two choices, either war or this deal, when in fact the third pathway would have been regime change and continued sanctions imposition to prevent and strangulate their economy that now is going to be given freewheeling to establish missiles and basically do covert nuclear programs.
So, Zuhdi, I just have to ask you this, Iran becoming more and more isolated in the region. You referenced this just a few moments ago, Saudi Arabia breaking diplomatic ties, the UAE recalling its ambassador, Bahrain, Sudan, all severing diplomatic ties as well. Does this create a more desperate Iran in the same way that we see North Korea assumingly becoming more desperate?
I'd actually flip that and say that it's not more desperate, more emboldened, because their allies, they're bolstering. Remember, not only is North Korea an ally, but Syria is an ally, Russia is an ally. So that axis of the Shia axis, along with Russia and whatever other autocratic type allies, are going to start feeling and thumping their chests, saying they can do whatever they want because America's out of the equation. We even hear today the Bahrainis are saying that their Shia majority, there was a threat, terror threat that came from Iran that they now have arrested. So you're right. I'm not sure if it's desperation or actually emboldenment that they really have nothing to fear but to stoke the old Sunni-Shia conflagrations.
Zuhdi, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you connecting all of those dots. Dr. Zuhdi Jasser joining me there.